We're moving from AI that answers questions to AI that runs things. People are literally buying Mac minis, almost to the point where they're sold out, just to run one AI tool. It's not a company, it's not a game, it's one tool. Developers are obsessed with it. China tried to shut it down, and the guy who built it got hired by OpenAI almost immediately, and they bought the platform. It's called OpenClaw, and the real story behind this is way bigger than the hype. Because this isn't just another AI tool. This is a preview of what your business is going to look like sooner than you think. And honestly, parts of this, people have been doing this for months before it even blew up. So what is OpenClaw? It's a free open source AI agent that runs on your computer. You hook it up to something like Claude or ChatGPT, and then you don't use it in some dashboard. You text it. Literally, you can text it from your cell phone. You send a message like you would to a person, but instead of replying, it goes and does the work. So this is getting into the age of agentic AI, which has been a buzzword for a while now. But it's not just simple stuff that you'd think of at first. This thing can read your emails, it can manage your calendar, it can write and run code, it can even browse the internet and access your files, and keep going until the task is finished, which has a downside to it. One guy told it to clean his inbox, another had it build a full website from his phone while putting his kids to sleep. Someone else gave it their credit card and said, handle my subscriptions. And yeah, that's also where this starts getting a little bit uncomfortable, because if you think about it, it could explode. OpenClaw became one of the fastest growing repos on GitHub, ever. It passed projects like React, Python, even Linux, and that basically never happens. But this is where it started to get even more weird. Someone built a Reddit just for AI agents, like AI talking to each other on an organic thread like you would on Reddit or Quora. And OpenClaw bots started posting on it on their own. They were sharing encrypted messages, they were forming groups. One of them literally posted, "What would you talk about if nobody was watching?" Andre Karpathy, co-founder of OpenAI, said it felt like real sci-fi. And the internet kind of lost its mind because we're all thinking Terminator. This is why things started to get serious. Developers started buying the Mac minis just to run OpenClaw 24/7, like a personal AI server sitting in their house. Some models literally started selling out. But here's the part that nobody's really saying out loud. OpenClaw isn't the intelligence, it's just the wrapper. The engine is Claude. These agents run multi-step tasks, which means they're constantly hitting AI APIs, which is a connection where you're saying, hey, can you do this thing for me? Which means every task is equal to money. And a huge chunk of that is going to Anthropic. So the tool that originally had to change its name is now quietly driving massive usage of Claude behind the scenes. Now, before you go install this, there's a real problem. Over 1,200 OpenClaw instances were found online with zero security. This thing can access your emails, your files, your passwords, financial accounts, and if you mess it up, you're exposed. Even one of the developers basically said, if you don't know how to use the command line interface, or CLI, you shouldn't be touching this. If you don't even know what that is, you definitely shouldn't be touching it. Here's the other truth. This isn't some brand new AI breakthrough. We've already been seeing versions of this behind the scenes for months. It's existing tools connected in a smarter way. Powerful, yes. Ready for the average business, not even close. Here's why that matters. We're moving from AI that answers questions to AI that runs things. You don't even necessarily have to prompt it. You give it a goal and it figures out the rest. OpenClaw isn't perfect, but it proves something really, really important. That a cheap machine running locally can operate like a digital employee. And once that works reliably, everything's going to start to change a lot faster. If you're paying attention to this now, you're early. If you're not, you're going to feel it later. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of what actually matters in AI and business over the next few years.